The movie begins in 3102 BC, where the warrior Ashwatthama tries to kill a princess's unborn child on the battlefield. Lord Krishna intervenes, stopping him and punishing Ashwatthama by removing a divine gem from his forehead, cursing him to live in a decaying body. Ashwatthama can only redeem himself by protecting the woman who will carry Vishu's 10th incarnation. In 2898 AD, the world was a wasteland. People were sick and without water. The last surviving city, Kashi, is ruled by Askin, a 200-year-old man who lives in the complex, a floating megastructure that drains the planet's resources for the rich. As the people enter the city, they are stunned by its grandeur. A truck of prisoners arrives and guards scan women for fertility. When a father tries to protect his daughter, a guard strikes him down. Rumi catches her and takes her to a hidden place where they meet Luke. Later, they video call with Viren, who's worried their action might provoke Shampala. They meet a pregnant woman, Divya, but a test reveals her child is not Vishnu's reincarnation. Suddenly, raiders attack, and in the chaos, the stone used for testing breaks. Ray grabs a piece of it while Rumi kills a raider, but both he and Divya are captured. Taken to the complex, a beast Rhea attacks Rumi, but he threatens to kill Divya unless Rumi reveals Shampala's location. Divya urges Rumi not to give in, knowing she will die either way. Manus shoots her and Rumi rushes to her, but Yaskin declares himself the only god. When Rumi speaks of the god's wrath, Manus shoots him as well. Yaskin offers a reward for capturing rebels while Mariam watches through a hologram. Raiders chase the remaining rebels and Luke is cornered. He is cornered until Bhairava and the Aikar Budgie arrive. Bhairava makes a dramatic entrance, but quickly falls asleep, mocked by the raiders. He responds with music tricks and a small explosive, confusing them with holograms. Bhairava then reveals himself, breaking a raider's suit, punching another through a building, and kicking more off a bridge. He finishes the fight with a powerful punch, using the raiders to cushion his fall. Afterward, Bhairava asks for his payment and notices a holy symbol on the group. Meanwhile, the captured women in the complex are part of Project K, an experiment to extend Yaskin's life using a serum from artificially inseminated fetuses. Some 80, a maid, checks on the prisoners and one woman admits she wishes she hadn't been fertile to avoid this fate. Menas oversees the insemination process, despite Yuri's warning that the women don't survive long. Ignoring the risks, Menas orders an early extraction, killing one of the women. When Yuri demands to know the truth about Project K, Menas refuses and takes him to meet the king. They meet Councillor Bonnie, who leads them into the royal chambers. Yaskin is connected to tubes, and a robotic arm injects him with the serum. Yaskin collapses but soon rises, declaring the serum was poisoned. Yuri stabs him, but Yaskin, unharmed, tells Yuri that death doesn't touch him. When Yuri admits to trying to kill him for the greater good, Yaskin feeds in his own tears. Yaskin then orders Bonnie and Manus to find a woman who can carry the formula for 150 days. In the women's quarters, Sameti is shaken after witnessing the earlier death. She checks her belly, revealing she's been pregnant for more than 150 days but has kept it hidden. Another woman, Lil, threatens to tell the scientists, since this has never happened before. Some 80 convinces her to wait, knowing the baby will be killed. Lil insists it's just a lab. Bhairava spends his reward on a rare egg. Luke invites him to join the team, but Bhairava refuses, saying he shares his story of being a war orphan raised by a soldier, who later tried to sell him to the complex. Bhairava betrayed the soldier, selling him to the guards. As Luke listens, an alarm signals a break-in, and they prepare to leave. At home, Bhairava finds men searching his belongings, demanding payment for a new life. The soldiers are all in a hurry. Bhairava is in a hurry, demanding payment. Leon arrives, reminding him he owes 20 units or risks losing. Suddenly, Roxy appears, knocking out the intruders and demanding her money as well. They fight, with Bhairava flirting the whole time. Frustrated, Roxy leaves, but Bhairava follows, swearing his love. Though skeptical, Roxy agrees to help him enter the complex. In the complex, the scientists announce another round of tests for the women. The next day, Roxy registers back and they find Bhairava as a visitor. Inside, Bhairava is awed by the wealthy area, and they explore together, enjoying fresh fruit, riding horses, and seeing the ocean. After crashing a fancy party, Bhairava knocks over a statue, alerting the guards, who kick him out. Meanwhile, Bonnie is called to the desert, where a legendary bow. Back in the complex, a guard notices some May 24, 2025 pregnancy report. At the same time, Rhea is chased by a raider and she escapes to the desert, falls into a cavern, and is thrown against a column by the robot. An old man appears, unaffected by the robot's attacks, and destroys it. The Rhea passes out during the encounter. Back in the complex, Manas is informed of Sum's pregnancy and orders an immediate extraction, showing no concern for the child. Later, Ray wakes up and sees the old man bleeding, but he doesn't seem to care. She realizes he speaks an ancient language and asks him to join the rebels. He refuses, saying he fights for only one person. In the complex, Sum 80 is hooked up to the extraction machine, but a power failure triggers an alarm. Meanwhile, Bonnie tries to grab the bow, but is knocked back by a surge of energy, as the old man in the cave has a powerful vision. The malfunction ejects Sum 80 from the machine, sending her sliding toward the incinerator. Lil, an undercover rebel, rescues her, and they escape through the tunnel. They encounter guards, and Lil fights. However, Sum 80 triggers a trap that activates flamethrowers. In the cave, the old man places Ray's glowing stone on his forehead, revealing he's Ashwatthama. Sum 80, holding her belly, walks through the flames unharmed. In town, lightning strikes a building, and Pyrava catches the falling debris, revealing a glowing religious symbol. The guards chasing Sum 80 are burned by the flame. She collapses, but the rebels rescue her before Manas arrives. The next morning, Manas meets Bonnie, who shows him the legendary bow. When a machine tries to grab it, the bow's power destroys the machine. Manas seeks a scientific explanation, but Bonnie warns that some things are beyond machines. Sum 80 wakes up in a rebel vehicle on the way to Shambhala. Viren questions her about Project K, but she knows nothing, angering him. Kyra tells Sum 80 that Mariam and her ancestors have awaited her. When asked for her name, Sum 80 shows her arm, and Kyra renames her Simothy. The vehicle is stopped by raiders, but the rebels pretend to be scavengers. A guard throws metal into the car, revealing the vehicle is a hologram. The rebels kill the raiders, but trigger an alert, forcing them to flee. Irava receives the alert. In the desert, Kyra pursues a raider on a hoverbike, dropping a bomb to destroy his vehicle. More raiders arrive, and a gunfight breaks out. Kyra crashes her bike, but manages to fight off a raider who boards the raider tries to drag Kyra. Simothy and a Jew save her, but Kyra knows that she sacrifices herself by detonating a bomb to destroy the raiders. A Jew, heartbroken, reports her death to Viren. Hyrava, meanwhile, is chased by a debt collector who rams his car. Buji transforms into an aircraft to escape, but malfunctions, crashing back into a car. Drones chase the rebels, who shoot them down. One drone crashes into a statue, breaking off a hand that blocks the road. The raiders surround the rebel car, and a Jew is just as things seem hopeless. Rhea arrives with Ashwatthama. The raiders open fire, but their weapons do nothing. Ashwatthama uses his strength to bend weapons and defeat the raiders in seconds. After the battle, he kneels before Sumati, recognizing her as the carrier of the god's next incarnation. A raider fires at them, but Ashwatthama uses metal as a shield. Irava joins the fight, quickly taking down more Irava throws Pyrava to the ground, forcing him to use holograms to confuse Ashwatthama. However, Ashwatthama quickly finds the real Pyrava and overpowers him easily. Pyrava tries to capture him with handcuffs, but Ashwatthama breaks free and explodes the cuffs with his power. The fight continues, and Ashwatthama again overpowers Pyrava. Just as he's about to finish him, Buji hits Ashwatthama, but he stops her with his foot and destroys the car. Pyrava attempts to collapse the bridge, but he rises through the debris, unharmed. Pyrava tries to trap him with chains, but Ashwatthama pulls down the building, finally defeating him. News of Ashwatthama's return reaches the complex, and Bani realizes the prophecy is coming true. They must stop Sumathi's baby before the eclipse, or Yaskin will be in danger. The rebels return to Shambhala, where Ashwatthama attacks the guards until Viren calms him, explaining they are allies. Some rebels doubt Sumathi is the chosen, but it begins to rain for the first time in decades, confirming her importance. Sumathi is treated like royalty, and the elders bless her. Miriam reveals that a compass pointing to Sumathi caused a tree to grow around which Shambhala was built. In the desert, Pyrava wakes up surrounded by guards who inform him he's blacklisted and permanently banned from the complex. Dejected, Pyrava returns to his apartment, ready to give up. However, Luke offers to vouch for him and get him. Pyrava agrees, but in a flashback, it's revealed that he's acting. In the desert, he made a deal with Manas. If Pyrava captures Sumathi, he'll be allowed back into the complex. In Shambhala, the rebels hold a ritual to honor their culture and say farewell to their fallen warrior. During the ceremony, Sumathi has a vision of countless dead bodies around her, causing her to doubt whether she belongs there. Rhea asks Ashwatthama about the old war, and he shares that he lost to a prince with a holy but his brother Karna, the original owner of the staff, saved him. Meanwhile, Bhairava works on his car to prepare it for the journey to Shambhala with Luke. Ashwatthama notices Sumati is trying to leave, fearing she is endangering everyone. He convinces her to stay, giving a speech on responsibility. Luke and Bhairava arrive at Shambhala, and Bhairava quickly knocks out the guards. Sensing trouble, Ashwatthama tries to leave with Sumati, but their path is blocked by a figure resembling. They fight, but Ashwatthama soon overpowers the fake, revealing Bhairava using a hologram. Sumati tries to escape, but Bhairava dodges Ashwatthama's attacks and makes a grab for her. Ashwatthama saves Sumati and throws Bhairava off the bridge, though Bhairava recovers with his hover boot. Ashwatthama slams him down, breaking the boots. Buji opens fire, but Ashwatthama explodes her, throwing Bhairava into the flame. Buji transforms into a robot suit, shielding Bhairava from the as guards arrive to assist. Manas and his aircraft fleet invade. Bhairava battles Ashwatthama, and though they struggle briefly, Buji throws Ashwatthama off. Bhairava tries to escape, but Ashwatthama pulls him off the bridge. Manas soldiers invade Shambhala, breaking the force field with a laser. The rebels fight back, downing enemy aircraft with a shockwave cannon. The battle escalates as rebels use hover bikes and shields. Mid the chaos, Bhairava and Buji save women. Ashwatthama blocks Bhairava's flamethrower and ties up Buji, making her crash. On the battlefield, Manas fires the laser again, overwhelming the rebels. Sumati is placed in an aircraft to escape, but Mariam uses energy whips to bring down an enemy ship. Realizing Sumati hasn't escaped, Manas blows up the aircraft, causing Mariam. As Sumati flees, Manas captures her with a mechanical harness. A rebel drone rescues Sumati, but Sumati's drone is shot down and she falls. Ashwatthama catches her, but Bhairava catches her next, with Ashwatthama grabbing him. Ashwatthama pulls them back to the bridge and knocks. Enemy harnesses trap Ashwatthama as Manas captures Umati and takes her to his ship. Ashwatthama shouts in frustration as the sacred tree burns. A falling leaf lands on his staff, which drops into Bhairava's hand. The staff glows, awakening Bhairava as the reincarnation of Sumati. Ashwatthama's brother is killed, but Bhairava is with the staff's power unlocked. Bhairava shoots flames at enemy aircraft, stopping one with his hand. He blocks all incoming fire and destroys the ships around the bridge. Ashwatthama recalls the final battle of the old war as Manas charges. Bhairava leaps, blocks the shot, and kills Manas with the staff. The staff's power collapses the enemy ships and Bhairava escapes with Sumati. Manas is killed, but Bhairava is still alive, and Bhairava escapes with Sumati just before the bridge crumbles. As the bridge falls, Bhairava returns to normal. Unaware of what happened, he jumps into Buji to escape with Sumati, but Ashwatthama breaks free and tries to stop them. After a struggle, Buji activates extra power and they fly. Ashwatthama reflects on the day his brother Karna saved him in the ancient war, a moment foretold by Lord Krishna. The movie concludes in the complex. Bani gives Yaskin the only drop of serum. Yaskin injects it, feeling a surge of power that makes him young again, allowing him to grab the legendary bow unharmed.